So, good morning, mob family. So, we're having technical issues, but we seem to be okay now. Welcome to our Mob TV. I know, episode 51. Let's see who comes. Everybody's Oh, I see people here. Yay. Hello. Let's see. That looks like Tina, Davina, Craig, Linda. I'm learning you guys by your icons. Good morning, Craig. Good morning, Morna. Hello, Davina. Hello, Tina. I'm feeling like I'm in, let's see if I can get the feed on the Mount TV. I'm feeling like I'm in a desert, Davina. Like my body's just really hot. What's up, Craig? El Dragon. Yeah, I'm really warm. Good morning, Heather. I'm trying to get the feed on. Ba-bum. Can you see if it's up on the Mob TV? Am I up on you? Oh, I'm up on yours. I don't know if I'm not up. I don't know why I'm not up on mine. Strange. Hello, Linda. Good morning. Hope you're all doing well. I'm gonna see if I can get back in. Good morning, Jeanette. We are ready for the red shirt question. We are. We'll be asking a little later. Let's let everybody get a chance to get in before we have our opener. And we are live on YouTube. Hello to everyone on YouTube. Excuse me while I try and find our Mob TV feed in the room, but I'm not seeing it. How is it you can see it and I can't? That's so weird. Huh?
Comes up right at the top.
I'm looking right on the top.
Maybe because you're the
admin. That's strange. Anyway. Hello, Tanya. Welcome. Good morning. All right, so Z, come on. See, our opener, our greeter is here. Hello, Audrey.
Hello, welcome to episode 51 of Mob TV.
Yay!
Yay!
That's our famous greeter. Hello, Laura. Yeah, it's very weird. I can't see the feed. I actually can't see the Mob, this episode on FB, but it's FB. Why would that surprise me? I'm trying. Refreshing. She's getting much better at the opening, Miss Z. Yeah, now it's stuck. That's great. Hello, Francis. I think this is your first time with us. Welcome. Hello, Mary Beth. Good morning. Yeah, it's like that. It's the technical things are, you know. It's the best letter. I know, Craig, right? So she's definitely a little bowl of sunshine. That's what she is. She comes in. I think so. I don't know. I have to check. Episode 51. Thank you. I like how. So we have show notes, and we usually do them before the show, and yeah, didn't happen this time. So let's see, new activity. There it is. I had to refresh the entire screen. Jeez. Okay. So I hope you guys are doing good. I'm currently. If I seem a little out of it, it's because I'm a little out of it with the shot, and I tell you guys to get the shot because it's something you should do. Obviously, it's a personal choice, a personal preference. But go back a year ago, March, right? Last March, I had COVID. Yeah, last March I had it. I got COVID last March. It's not fun, and we've heard about people passing away from COVID. 600,000 in this country alone. So, what I'm going through now is a billion times better than going through COVID. COVID had me down for 3 weeks in bed. So, Everyone has their own personal preference. Everyone they can make their own choice. But this is something that I wanted to do just to be safe. So yes, Paige, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better too. Yeah, around March 17th. Yeah, because the mods stepped in, the pack stepped in, and they were doing all the posts because I was out. Like out. I was in bed, down for the count. So, yeah. So, listen, my personal opinion, you don't have to follow my person. Get the COVID vaccine if it's free, if you can. Keep yourself safe, keep other people safe, and wear your mask, social distance. What I've said in every episode since this has been going on. But I recommend it because it's just safer, you know? Now I can go to the gym, I don't have to wear a mask. You can't imagine what it's like to train with a mask in the gym. It's like, it was hard to get air before, now it's even harder. Yeah, it's worth it, Davina. Yeah, Davina says you aren't even close to as ill as I was from the vax, but COVID has me ill over a year later. The vax is worth it, yes, for sure. And yeah, Heather's saying she got her second shot on Tuesday and she's fully covered now, but you still wear a mask. Yeah, I like the social distancing because keep social distance is good. Let's keep some social distance and wearing the mask because I get to feel like a desperado. So there you go. So. That's the way to go. Yeah, Chris, I know. Where did I go without a mask? Oh, I'm trying to figure out. Recently, I went somewhere. I went inside, and it was like, you don't have to wear a mask. Like, huh? So that felt odd. And the gym feels odd now without a mask because I'm so used to wearing it. But that's how it is. All right, so let me do the shout-outs. We got our show notes a little late today. Shout-outs. Shout out to everyone on YouTube. Thank you for being there on YouTube, supporting us. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you aren't on YouTube, please go to YouTube also when you can. Like, subscribe, and share the channel because it just helps us grow. Click on the little bell, and that you'll find out whenever we're on, when our Mob TVs are live. And we also have our Instagram page. So at Bitten Peaches, go follow us on Instagram. I've been trying to be diligent about putting up posts on Instagram and putting up some pretty awesome posts because I get to find like either pictures of the covers or quotes from the books. I found one quote that was really awesome from Wander. I was just rereading Wander because Wander's such a great story. I really enjoy it. And there was one part where one of the characters was speaking to, I think it was Master Yacht and Gray. And he said something like, there's no statute of limitations on revenge. And it was just a great line that stood out. So I put that up on Instagram. So follow us on Instagram at Bitten Peaches. That's where we're at. Dolly has taken a little bit of a break because she's getting the kids ready for camp. But the ZAZZLE store is full of swag. So go follow us on ZAZZLE. Go to the store and get your swag at M&S. That's EMANDES. M&S. And get your swag on. There's a whole much, there's a bunch of stuff that's awesome that I want to get, so go get it. Let's see what else. Patreon, we have Patreons. We have a new Patreon. Hello and thank you, Mary Beth Wright, for being a patron of our Patreon page. Thank you for following us on Patreon. The newsletter this month has been kind of crazy, but I'll see if I can release the newsletter at the end of the month, and I'll try to be more regular about it, at least once a month in July, starting July, because things will calm down a little bit. We're on BookBub, so follow us on BookBub. And Binge Book, we still need reviews on Binge Books. So guys, we need reviews on Binge Books. So go to Binge Books, or Bibo as we call it here at home. Join Binge Books and then leave reviews for the books that you've read on Binge Book. It just helps our presence there. So please do that. I really appreciate it. Let's see. What else? Yeah. Mans, that's the abbreviation for man hands. Mans. I like that, Craig. Let's see. As of last Saturday, consider fully back. Congratulations, Francis. That's awesome. Plastic mask cage. I've never heard of that. It helped. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's the thing that you put underneath. Yeah, I got it. And Dolly just put up the ZAZZLE. Dolly's here this week, so I'm not flying solo. So I got my co-pilot with me. And she put up the link to the ZAZZLE store, so go there and get your swag. On Binge Books, she put up the link for Binge Books. Please go to Binge Books and get your join it and then leave your reviews if possible, please. We really would appreciate that. Oh, and this week we have our, thanks to Jeanette. I don't know if Jeanette's with us. I think she is. I think I saw her earlier. We have our red shirt question this week. It's a really good question. So if you're here on this episode, you get to answer the red shirt question and become the next red shirt for Divine Intervention, which is the next Monty and Strong book. We only do these red shirt questions for Monty and Strong. So, yeah. Co-pilots are awesome, Chris. Co-pilots make sure we don't crash. So, that's fantastic. Yeah, Jeanette created a really good question. So, you guys are going to have fun with this one. Say, what does Avina say? It isn't just me wearing one, although it's really hard. It's also other people. I struggle to be around people when I can't see what they look like. I have the same problem making phone calls. Yes. Oh, and don't forget to use the referral link. Is there any way you can put the link up here? Oh, awesome. Use the referral link when you go to ZAZZLE. So please use that. Say again? Yes, please. The referral link? Yes. She's gonna put it up again. She already did. Dolly's gonna put it up again because she's awesome that way. This is Joni. Hello, Joni. I haven't seen your name here, but welcome to the Mob TV episode 51. Thank you. I can start using my radio announcer voice. And yes, you too can be on the Mob TV. So that is the ZAZZLE link. Use that referral link on the bottom, the RF thing. Just click on the whole thing and it'll get you there. Sane. That's a relative term in the mob. So, yeah. Mel says he had a second jab in May. Had no reaction to either jabs. Yeah, I think in the UK it's still kind of really serious over there right now, right? So you still have to wear your mask. Good morning, Robert. Welcome. Yeah, the vacuums are floating around somewhere. All right, so let me go quickly through. Well, not quickly, but let's go through our updates and the Rule of the Council audiobooks are out. So go get them if you love audiobooks. According to Jeanette, our audiobook first responder to audiobooks. Kevin did a fantastic job on Rule of the Council. Well, he does a fantastic job on all the books, but we really gave him a challenge with Rule of the Council because the main character is Michigo, and so it's a male doing a female's voice throughout most of the book. So I hear he did a fantastic job. I know the first sample that I heard, I was very impressed. So that you can thank Dolly for that because she was like, he's got to do the whole thing in Michigo's voice. And I was like, I don't even know if he can do that. Can he? So we put the challenge to him, and he rose to the challenge. So if you want to hear Michigo and Byako and the rest of the crew, Rule of the Council audiobook is the way to go. Let's see who else came in. Jasmine, good morning. Paige says, my second stab was nasty. Felt like I was hit by a truck and stuff. Yeah. I didn't feel like I was hit by a truck, but I definitely felt like I was sparring for most of the day, especially where I got the jab on my left arm. Felt like it was being used for like somebody took a bat to it and just kept hitting it. Yeah. So what I hear is that all the older folks are getting no side effects, and us young guys are the ones feeling. Us young people are the ones feeling the side effects. So what can I tell you? Craig, hashtag villain red shirts are happy henchmen for sure. This has become a whole trend now, Craig, with the hashtag villain hashtag. So that's pretty awesome. Mel, afternoon, morning, and evening for sure. So let's see. What else do we have? Okay. So Iker's coming out, I'm hoping today, because I have to just do the author notes. What happened was I was going to do the author notes yesterday or the day before, actually. Got the shot, and it didn't really hit me right away. It hit me a little later on in the day. I started feeling a little off, and then yesterday it was like I was wrecked. So all I have to do is write the author notes, which I always do after the art, after everything, because it's kind of like, how do I call it, author notes? They're kind of just an unfiltered view on that current story. And I don't really want to edit it or anything like that. It's just, so there are going to be errors and typos or whatever in the author notes. But that's kind of like an authentic, for me, kind of me sharing the behind the scenes of the story. So the author notes are the last thing that get written. And so I have to write that. and then I'll put then Iker will go out to the Zazan, and it'll go out, and then you guys will have it. It'll be, I think it's gonna be 99 cents because it's a real short story. It's only like 10K, so hopefully it'll be out later today. And then Divine Intervention is what I'm currently working on. I don't know, I'm like 4,000 words into it. It's gonna be like 60K, 70 maybe. So, but it's been a lot of fun, and there's a lot of, I can't even go into, I don't even want to mention Divine Intervention because the things that are going to happen in that story is going to be like, whoa, whoa. Davina says, I officially hate everyone who had both shots with no effects. I was really ill for a week with both. Oof, that's a long time, yeah. Paige, I'm 60. You're still young at 60, Paige. 60 is the new 40, didn't you know? Jeez. Villain hashtag, who can do... I'm going to see who can do the longest, Jeanette, the villain hashtags. Hello, Amanda. Waving back. Linda says, for both my shots, I didn't have any side effect except a sore arm. But 2 months after my last shot, sometimes my arm feels... yeah, it's like that. What can I tell you? I try to make the author notes authentic. You know, that's why I don't have it edited. That's why I don't put them in there before the book is done. I make sure it's the last thing. And it comes up, I try to make it come across as this is what kind of went into making the story. And that's also sometimes why the story gets delayed in being published, because I have to kind of think about what went into making the story. And that's why, you know? Oh, okay, so Dr. RC tells us immunologists call your reaction a take. It implies a good immune response. Good. I'm glad it's a good immune response. I think the Venus hashtag villain is pretty long. Plotting to find a way to get back at people with no vaccine side effects. I'm beginning to get the feeling that the mob is full of villains. So, ooh, hot jelly being injected. No, I hope that's not the case with mine, but we'll see. Tina had the Moderna one. First arm was a little sore. Second, it didn't hit me until the second day. Killed your arm and it was exhausted, but only out of day. That's not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it if it's only out. Listen, I'll take anything over the actual pandemic disease, because I had that. 3 weeks of fever dreams, being in bed, and scaring Dolly is not worth it. So I'll take the sore day, arm being sore, and kind of being tired and out of it for a day or two over the 3 weeks of that. Yes, you are, Davina. You're more immune than everyone else. We are, Jeanette. I would say, put it to you like this. At this point, I've written Rule of the Council. We can't call Michiko a hero. She's at most, she's an anti-hero. And Iker, those of you who did the art know that Iker is not a hero. And yet, the mob is like, go Iker, go Michiko. So it's like, I would have to say that the mob has a tendency to lean towards anti-hero kind of villainous behavior. Just putting that out there, because we seem to like our villains. So yeah. That's great, RC. So RC is saying the mob is starting to look like the Mayans motorcycle club. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna say that the personality of the mob is pretty awesome. And you know, there's no other way to describe how the mob is. The mob is just pretty awesome. What does Ayrton say? Ayrton says, "I'm not evil. No matter how hard I tried to convince him, he says I'm too nice to be." He just hasn't seen that side of you yet. That's all. Maybe in time. Bad guys with hearts of gold. I think that kind of defines us. Yeah, definitely. Oh, we're a mob of villains. Also, Jasmine, we give you that. Villains are more fun. So, Kerr Avan from Blake 7. Jeez, I don't even know who that is, but it sounds familiar. But you know, if you think about in stories, like the stories we were exposed to, all of us growing up, the villains were the ones we kind of gravitated towards. I mean, for us, like Star Wars, Darth Vader. The first time Darth Vader comes onto the screen, like in the ship, and he's walking, and you see that silhouette. I mean, come on, that beats every other on-screen villain appearance, and you immediately were gravitated to like, whoa, you know. Loki also, yeah, Loki's like So we gravitate towards the villain. Even Thanos. Thanos was a kick-ass villain. So I think if they're portrayed the right way and they're given the right backstory and they're not made as cardboard cutouts, villains are very interesting. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, yeah. Robert says his COVID back in February didn't manifest a single symptom. How about the date part 2? Yeah, I don't know about that. Let me consider that one, Robert. Taking Michigo out on a date could be a very dangerous thing. Joni says my taste is still messed up after. Did you ever get your full taste back? How about your smell? Oh, cool. Yeah, Dolly had it. She had lack of smell for a little while, right? Yeah. Dolly's here. She's just being low key. So, you know. The snake villain entry in Conan. Yeah, that was awesome. Killmonger was a good villain. I liked Killmonger as a villain. Yeah. Here's the thing about the Joker. The Joker is the perfect villain for Batman because how deranged he is. There have been a lot of criticisms of the Joker because he doesn't have any superpowers or anything like that. But Batman doesn't have superpowers. The thing that makes the Joker the antithesis of Batman, and I really wouldn't even say antithesis, because if you think, Batman and the Joker are really similar in the sense of that they're both kind of extreme. But the Joker is kind of the shadow of Batman. And he's willing to do the things other villains won't. And he knows exactly how to get to, Batman, So that's just the way it is. I mean, in terms of anti-heroes, you want to think about things like the Punisher's an anti-hero. There are a few that are just, I would consider Daredevil an anti-hero in a way also. So, hello Ingrid, welcome. Jeff, good morning, welcome. Belloc from Indiana Jones, I didn't like him too much, but he was kind of just, he was kind of wishy-washy as a bad guy, Cynthia says the best villains always have something that you like about them, something positive. Yeah, the best villains, so it's like not every bad guy is completely bad, not every villain is completely evil, and not every hero is completely good. So you have to have a balance, And like RC says, sometimes the situation calls for a good bad man. There you go. It's true. Yeah. That works. Davina says, I got my taste and smell back from COVID, but have long-lasting fatigue, headaches, and breathlessness. Wow. That's what they call the long effects. I'm not clear on that, but I think that's what they call it. Bearing in mind, I had ME and fibromyalgia before I had COVID. Jeez. My doctor says long COVID. It's long COVID, right? It's basically ME, so it isn't surprising it gave me a relapse. Wow. Audrey says, how about Deadpool? I guess Deadpool is a good example of an anti-hero. Because he kind of breaks all the trends. So, he's an anti-hero, but he likes to break the fourth wall a lot. So he's a very different kind of anti-hero. Eastwood's the man with no name. Yeah, that was a good anti-hero, good villain. But I would say Deadpool definitely qualifies because he doesn't conform to any of the typical hero, and he pokes fun at the heroes, so he doesn't conform to the typical hero stereotype. So he's a good bad guy, definitely. Vigilantes are more proto-hero than anti-hero. Yeah, I would say so. Like Punisher's a proto-hero for sure. And Jeff says Joker's superpower is his insanity. Yeah, and the fact that he just doesn't care. And he will upset what's considered the status quo. Yeah, Chris says, and this is a good example. This is a good point. We are all capable of doing bad things for the right reasons, and everyone has that potential. Even those people who say no, I would never. If you're put in the situation, let's say your kids are in danger and you're a parent, you would reconsider taking certain actions. Because it's like, yeah, I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep them safe. Paige says Deadpool's a mercenary assassin, so yeah, anti-hero, for sure, yeah. Moriarty is a fantastic villain. I wouldn't say anti-hero, he's a villain. Because he is the antithesis of Sherlock. He's the opposite of Sherlock. And dare I say he's even more brilliant than Sherlock. I think Moriarty would be more on par with Mycroft. in terms of his brilliance. But he's the perfect villain for Sherlock because he can match him in intellect. And his plans, he really fulfills kind of the villain stereotype because Moriarty has kind of like plans that are he plays the long game and he's always kind of like 5 steps ahead. Jeff, take care. If it keeps freezing on you, come back if you can. But thanks for being here. Let's see. The scariest thing is someone doing bad things for the right reasons that stops understanding the right reasons. Yes, because then they go too far and they lose sight of why they're doing what they're doing. RC says long COVID happens with 10 to 15% of infections and it's no joke. No joke indeed. Yeah, the long COVID I hear really scary things about. It's not really good for you at all. What does Craig say? Moriarty's not smarter. He just has zero morality. I don't know if he's... I thought he would be... I think he... Let's see. In terms of brilliance and intellect, I think he's a little smarter than Sherlock. But I think what happens is yes, he has no morality. So he doesn't care about what he does. He doesn't care about the ramifications of what he does. But I think he's a little smarter than Sherlock. But I think Sherlock, because of his deductive reasoning and his observation, is able to combat Moriarty in his plans and his schemes. But I think it's the fact that he has no morality that makes him dangerous to Sherlock. Let's see. Tina says, when Batman Beyond, the Batman faced the old Joker in a way that the old Batman couldn't. Oh, yeah. I have to watch it. I heard about that one, but I have to watch it. Let's see what else. Jeanette says, I said I could kill to keep my family. Yeah, I agree. If it's to keep your family safe, all bets are off. I'm sorry to hear Jeff's freezing up, but let me know if you guys are suffering any internet issues, like if we keep freezing up for you. Eddie Moore is the only villain I associate myself in fictional terms, then I go with the type of personality of transformation hero. Got it, Francis. Understand. Moriarty is like Hades. Yeah. Well, it depends. There's so many different versions of Hades. But definitely in the MNS world, Hades plays the role of catalyst, and he's playing a very, very, very long game. Let's see. It's like Magneto. Yeah, Magneto, he's a bad guy. But you gotta go through the backstory of Magneto, why he is what he is. Because Magneto went through the Holocaust. Magneto's whole motivation comes from being other. And so when he creates the New Mutants, when he creates the mutants, not just the New Mutants, but when he creates it's like the darker side of the X-Men, right? His group. It's because mutants on the whole have been othered. And so it's the same thing as when he went through the Holocaust. So that his whole backstory comes from being othered and being ostracized and being targeted and killed for that. And so you can kind of understand his motivation because he's like, this is just a repeat of everything that went on in the past, and I'm not going to let it happen again. He's a really, really complicated... Magneto's one of the best complicated characters that Marvel created. Let's see. Jeanette says, this is a very amazing group of people. The mob is? Yes, it is. There's a whole class of thieves who are anti-heroes. Yeah, Danny Ocean, Lupin, Robin Hood. Speaking of Lupin, second season's out, so if you haven't seen the first season, watch that and then watch the second season on Netflix. It's really good. And I enjoy all those, RC. And Robin Hood goes back to that whole stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. It's that kind of stereotype of taking from the elite and giving to the common. It's that whole theme. So let's see. Thanks, Chris, for the checkout that everything is fine over there. Davina says, why is Loki a god? Because he was adopted, so he shouldn't have Asgardian type powers. Does anyone... So he's a child of ice giants, from what I understand, right? The Jotuns. So I don't know why he's a god, but they say he's a god of mischief. I don't know if he gets his powers from association, but he shouldn't be a god because he was adopted, so he's not even, in a technical sense, Asgardian from that concept. Mel, cooking tea. See you later. Yes. Thieves of World Series. No, I've never read the Thieves of World Series, so I guess I'll have to look it up. Catalyst and Mad and Instigator with a little bit of... Yes, for sure. Made it for a few minutes. Hi, Jenny. Welcome. Haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome. Yes, Hades is definitely a catalyst, an instigator. Don't forget that Hades is the one who gave Simon peaches, and there's a definite reason for that. So he's putting a lot of pieces in play on the board, and he's kind of letting it play out. But every so often he comes in and nudges, and so it's definitely a long game that Hades is playing. Tina, I've never read the Thieves World series, but it sounds interesting, so I'll have to look it up. Right, Jeanette, Magneto really does understand humanity and its worst behaviors. And if you look at the conversation he has with Professor X, when they have these conversations about humans are worth dealing with, humans are worth interacting with or befriending, he always reminds Xavier about what happened during the Holocaust. He says, I've seen this behavior before. You can't trust humans. And that's the argument that Magneto always makes, that yes, they treat mutants the way they treated us back during the Holocaust. So it's like, yeah, we're not gonna. That's why I'm not. He's never been pro-human. He's always been pro-mutant. Let's see. Davina says it doesn't bother me all day. People here know a lot about that sort of thing, so I'm hoping someone might know. I don't know, Davina, why Loki's considered a god. I know in the mythos, Loki is a god. It's a different origin story. He's not an adopted child of ice frozen giants. He's an actual Asgardian. But I think they changed it from Marvel. I'll have to look into it for sure. Yeah, let's see. Ingrid, bye. Enjoy dinner. Thank you for coming in and visit. Yeah, Loki, his mother should be a god. His mom is Freya? Is it Freya? Mel? I forget. So, you gotta go. RC, don't procrastinate the working out. Go work out. I believe Loki's mom is Freya from the ice side. So that might be why he's a god. Or at the very least a demigod. Wow, Chris. Chris says Steve's World goes back 20 years. I haven't read that. I haven't read The Wheel of Time either by Robert Jordan, so there's stuff to read there. Stuff. Right, Tina. I know in the mythos, in the actual Norse mythos regarding Loki, there's several variations and that make him a god. I think Marvel changed it just to make it easier. Yeah, Loki's the son of, I think it's Freya and a Jotun. And that's where... I'm trying to remember. Loki has children later on in the mythology that figure prominently in Ragnarok. So that's probably why. But I guess he's considered more of a demigod, if you want to put it like that. Right, Davina. No, you make a really great argument. Like if Hades adopted Monty would still be a mage, not a god. Adoption doesn't change your species, so Loki should have frost powers, not magic. Yeah, it bugs you because it's off, and people just accept it, but he really should have frost powers. But his mom is a goddess. At the most, he should be kind of like Hercules, where he's a demigod. Yeah. Jeanette wants to know if Hades is the divine in divine intervention. No. Maybe. Who knows? You have to read the book. Let me write it first. Looking at the world today, there's very little to disprove Magneto's assertions. Unfortunately, yes, it's true. What's interesting about comic books, at least back when I was reading them, is that many of the writers of comic books took real world situations and put them in the story. So when you read those things, like say Magneto's and Xavier's interactions back in the comics, you were able to relate to that. And even now, I don't know how it is now, how the writing is in the comics now, but growing up reading that, you were able to relate to real world situations and say, yeah, it's kind of, it's kind of true. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So RC, I hope you're gonna go work out, because you need to work out. It's good for you. So if you subscribe to the belief that gods are created, then belief would give Loki his powers. True, but no one really worships Loki unless he has a body of worshippers, because there's also that too, that gods survive from their followers, their worshippers. Frigga, yes, there you go. Yes. But I don't think she's the adoptive mother. And right, Right, there's a whole thing there. So there's a lot in the mythology of Loki that you can look up and see and find out. So Davina, you can have homework if you want and find out the history of Loki. But he's like a demigod. In the strictest sense, he would be a demigod because only one of his parents was a god. Or goddess in this case. Massive social commentary. Yeah, most comic books, aside from the golden age, that's like 30s, 40s, 50s, comic books in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even up to the 90s, contained massive social commentary. It was just hidden within the story. Yeah. Right, like Paige is describing it. The mom was a goddess and the dad was a giant. One of the original beings in the Norse mythology. Yeah. So there you go. No, I don't think it was a blessing. It's part of his DNA. So definitely a TVA jacket would be awesome. Yeah, my youngest Valkyrie was the one who said we need to watch Loki. Because she says, what is it that you say about Loki? What is Loki? He's cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, my youngest Valkyrie says Loki is cool. So, right, Craig. He falls within both groups, the Acer and the Jotun, because of his parentage, I guess. Right. And there you go. And he is the god of mischief. He does have powers, so. Right, Jenny. Yeah, I've heard about that, where there are certain sects that worship against certain gods in order to keep them at bay. Yeah. Craig, see, this is why you are a hashtag villain. When you start saying things like low-key is low-key awesome. This is why. This is why hashtag villain is yours. I don't know about that, Paige. Paige says it doesn't hurt that Tom Hiddleston is cute. I guess that's a big factor in being Loki. I don't know. I'm sure at some point, Davina, the TVA jackets, if you don't know what a TVA jacket, you have to watch the Loki series. But the TVA jackets are the Time Variance Authority, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. And they gave Loki's character one jacket that says Variant on the back, so they know that he's a bad guy. So you should definitely have one. I would get one with the Variant on the back for sure. You don't want to hold the TVA jacket itself is kind of blah, but if you get the one with Variant on the back, that would be awesome. All right, so let me continue with some of our updates. Oh, next project, Sepia gets done this year. So after Divine Intervention, Sepia, the last book, gets written and done, and the pentology gets closed out. So that would be awesome. And we got time. We got time for our red shirt. Let's see, Amazon KDP. We have a few Mob TVs before then, but July, put this in your calendars. And who just came in? Tareen, hello, welcome. July 15th at 10 a.m. we have our Amazon KDP interview with yours truly. So that's pretty awesome. So that's gonna be in July 15th. How far away is that? 3 weeks? Right after my my second shot. So July 15th, after my second COVID shot, I'll probably be really messed up. I'm gonna have my KDP interview. So that's gonna be an interesting one. Yeah. Oh yeah, they definitely need to create a time variant jacket for sure. By Christmas, yeah, actually by Christmas, yeah. Before Christmas, actually. I would say by November, it'll be out. Hopefully before I head out to 20 books, 50K. It's midnight-ish for you right now? Wow. Yeah, let's see, Fiverr Shots. Yeah, 3 weeks. So I took mine this Wednesday. July 15th is about 3 weeks away, and I'll be having my second shot 3 weeks. Huh? On the 14th. So on the 15th, the day after my shot, I have the KDP interview. That should be fun.
No, move it by a day.
No, we'll be okay. I'll be okay.
During the afternoon.
We'll see. Okay. July 15th is at least a bit less problematic time zone wise. Okay. Is the interview on FB? No, the interview is going to be on YouTube because it's an actual Amazon interview, KDP. So it's Amazon KDP interview, and they do the interview and then they upload it directly to YouTube. Mary Beth. Hello, Tracy, and welcome. Jeanette says, "Are we going to talk to KDP?" No, I don't think they're inviting unless you can go into YouTube. I think it's just a one-on-one interview. I'm not sure. I saw Jonathan Yanez's interview, but I think it's just an interview and then they upload it. So I don't think we can convert it into like what we did with Binge Books, where we made the interview the Binge Book interview into a Mob TV interview. So wait 2 weeks after that to be considered fully. Yeah, I'm not traveling. The only time I'm going to travel is to Vegas in November. By then I should be fully vaccinated. So Chris says KDP Amazon has a YouTube channel, so that's where it'll be, on the YouTube channel. I hope, yeah, Davina, I hope not to get any more effects, but hey, you know what? We'll see what happens. The interview is scheduled for the 15th. We'll see, and the shot is scheduled for the 14th. Yeah, so we'll make it work. We'll make it work. If not, we'll just shift it over one day or so. Yeah, if you see me keep looking to my right, it's because that's where Dolly is. It's not that I just like looking to my right. I like looking at Dolly, yes, but that's where she is. So when I do that, that's where she is. Okay. On the YouTube, on that contraption, you should say that, Craig. On the contraption, on the YouTube contraction. We'll definitely post the link as we get closer. I just want to keep you guys up to date with that stuff, with the things that are coming up. And because if I don't say it, I'll just get I'll forget it. Dolly will have to remind me, All right, so let's see. So I managed to keep IKEA to 10K. So you guys haven't read it yet. At least those of you who weren't in the art. We'll see what the response is. I kind of like the idea of Iker being longer, or actually being his own set of stories. It's just a matter of fitting Iker's stories into the other series. So we'll see. Yes, 20 minutes. Maybe we should ask the question now. All right, here we go. We'll go into Iker in a moment. Let's ask the question. I have the question handy because Jeanette sent it to me. All right, red shirt question for your approval. Ready? As Tristan said in Requiem, the mark of proper upbringing is to know your clothes. Auntie. So your challenge, if you wish to be the next red shirt, is to demonstrate your knowledge of the clothes, in particular shoes, seen in the Monty and Strong universe. Name 5 pairs of shoes worn by any character in any of the Monty and Strong books. Which character wore them and in which book were they mentioned? So 5 pairs of shoes worn by any character. You gotta know what kind of shoes. They're always given a name. The designer is always mentioned. Which character and in which book? Good luck. That's a tough question. Dolly says the winner is going to be a woman because it has to deal with shoes. So Jeanette can post the text here. Please post it. Yeah, 5 pairs of shoes, what kind of shoes, which character wore them, and in which book. Good luck. That one's gonna, you have to really work to be a red shirt for this one. Yeah, so, and I think there's more than 5 pairs, right, Jeanette? There's at least 9, maybe 10 pairs of shoes all throughout. So good luck. That is a tough question. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to trim the beard a bit. It's getting a little. I'm seeing it here. It's getting a little scruffy. So that is, yeah. It's Jenny. It's a really tough question. So you gotta message Jeanette, PM Jeanette, and she'll tell you. And it's only the people from here, that from the mob, this episode, that will know that can do it. And she will timestamp who gives her the right answer by when. So, yeah. Yeah, good luck, Tracy. That's a tough one. You get interested in the fight scenes. I have a great fight scene that I'm in the middle of right now. So yeah, it's a tough one, Linda. Even I who wrote the stories would have a hard time having to go back to go look for shoes. So that is a tough one. So as I was saying about Iker, I have so many other series. See, I want to kind of limit it to. That's a hard thing to do, but limit it to the main series, which would be like Monty and Strong, Night Warden, Darken that's coming up. I don't want to spread out to too many series because it just gets so hard to fit them all in the schedule. But what I can do with Iker is create a series of short stories that I can kind of intersperse in between the main books. So I'll see what you guys think about it. Let's see. Once I see your response to Iker, and I'll really kind of pick your brains about the story, because there's a lot that can happen with Iker in terms of the Monty and Strong world. He can be a real kind of character that kind of moves through the fringes and shadows. So we'll see. Jenny, no, I'm not gonna go full mountain man with the beard. I'm keeping it to the goatee, and I'll let it grow in. But I gotta really kind of, trim it. It's getting a little out of control. Yeah, the shorts, if I can keep them to 10K, the problem with the shorts, Chris, is that the shorts get out of control. Like that little meme that goes around that the story's kind of feral. Yeah, so, Warn, Davina, not chewed. Not Monty's shoes that are chewed. No, warn. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get any answers. Jeanette says she's going to leave her FB Messenger open to accept submissions of answers. I don't think you're going to get any answers anytime soon. So, see, Craig, that's a great idea. A little short story anthology for all the characters that deserve a more in-depth appearance. Right, because I was thinking, let's say Iker, you've got Coda from the Night Warden series, although she kind of gets a lot of airtime in the Night Warden books. But you got Iker, Byakko, you got a few characters that could get like their own little short stories or their own little appearances. We also got Elias that just appeared in the last book in Requiem. So there's a lot of stuff there. Elias could be, that character can have his own series. Elias Pern can have his own series because what he does, which is like magical security, that can run the gamut of different things happening, We've got Bangers and Mash that's still in the background somewhere. There's a lot of stuff that could get little short stories. Let's see. Tracy says the problem is you're creating too many very interesting and fun characters. That is the problem. Yeah, I can write them for Amazon. Hey, John, welcome. I can write them for Amazon Vella. I don't know if we're going to write them for Vella. That's one more thing I'd have to get into. We'll see. Craig says expect an answer by the next Mob TV. Maybe. Jeanette, that question is a tough one. So if you can win this one, you're going to be you're going to earn that red shirt. Put it that way. You can let people submit short fanfic stories for the minor characters. I have an issue with letting people write in the world. That's a tough one. So, ask John. We've been trying to write a story for Dex forever. So, because when you get people writing into the world, it has to conform to everything else, and that's when things they can get a little bit chaotic. Mark just squeaks in for sure. Welcome, Mark. Oh, okay. So Jeanette accepts chewed shoes. So hey, if there's shoes, they're in. There you go. Let's see. Carla says that his mother Laufey is a goddess. His father was a Jotun called Frabauti. Oh, so this is about Loki. So that's where his godhood comes from. See, there you go, Davina. Question asked and answered. Oh, see, Mel, you're having Bangers and Mash. That's fantastic. Yeah, fanfic is great and it has its own place, but I wouldn't let just it be introduced into what's considered the canon of the Monty and Strong world, because then it gets kind of messy. It gets all over the place. I was gonna say, John, what color is that shirt you're wearing in your little avatar there? Red one. The red shirt competition is we just asked it, and we'll see what happens. Who's gonna answer that question? Yeah, they get to die a glorious death in the next Monty and Strong book. Exactly, Mary Beth. Fanfic is good for what it is, fanfic. But then when you try to introduce, you can't introduce that into the actual, what's considered the canon or the actual storyline, because it does change the voice of the overall world. So yes. Right, it's less fanfic and more cooperative fiction, and that's different. That's very different. And yes, Jeanette's character died a fantastic, glorious death in the last book. So, if you could answer the shoe question, 5 pairs of shoes, then you too will die a glorious death. So good luck with that. And the destruction, exactly, was not. It wasn't. Was it? Maybe not. We'll see. So, I'll see how the reaction to Iker, that Iker should come out later today. We'll see what the reaction to Iker is. I have a few short story trilogies that need to get done. Like Assassin's Apprentice needs to get done. And Division 13 needs to get done. Those are trilogies that need to get finished off. I want to finish off all those little trilogies. Those are novellas, by the way, not short stories, but those are novellas. But I want to get those done. So just focus on just the main series and get those done. Or Chapter 34 style death. Chapter 34 will forever live in history with our stories, for sure. 55 minutes? Awesome. Okay, so let me get to the questions, because we have a bunch of questions. So let's answer the questions. Because, wow, man, this time goes by so fast. All right, I'm answering the questions. I can't read the feed as much. So, waiting for the screen to come up with the questions. Mark says he's going to write a fanfic of an everyday citizen in the MNS world that doesn't know about the supernatural. It's going to be 3 pages of complaining about the constant demolition. Yes, it was Monty and Simon's fault, for sure. You just happened to be in vicinity when it went up, right? Let's blame Monty and Simon. Oh, and to answer Craig's question, that is not Rorschach on the questions post. That's actually the character called The Question on the post for the questions for the Mob TV events. All right, questions. Let's see. Malcolm has a question. If you didn't live in New York, where would you like to reside? Money, citizenship, etc. not being an issue. Wow. Somewhere warm where the winters were comfortable. So anywhere that's nice, that could be, if it could be 70 degrees all year round. Jim, welcome. If it could be 70, 75 degrees all year round without having to deal with really brutal winters, that's where I would live. Malcolm also wants to know, this is another question by Malcolm, will Rule the Council be in paperback? The 3 novellas as 1 book? Yes, eventually. Definitely could be in paperback. I just have to compile it together as 1 file. Okay, Audrey has questions. Orlando, how long has Iker been on your to-do list, and did someone inspire his character? Iker just appeared in Rule the Council. I needed a good assassin to kind of face off against Michigo. And geez, if I have to answer how long he's been in my psyche, in my head, I would say about 10, 15 years, ever since I saw this anime called Get Backers. If you ever seen Get Backers, there's this one character in there called the Jackal. Iker is modeled after the Jackal. It's like almost the perfect character that kind of depicts the Jackal. So about 10, 15 years, Iker's been lurking somewhere back there. And let me do the right symbol. Lurking somewhere back there in the back of my head. So that's who inspired that character. Dolly, were you ever the member of a fan club?
No.
No. Quick answer. And Valkyrie, do you like amusement parks? And if so, what is your favorite ride? What's your favorite ride, Zoya?
I don't know.
She doesn't know. She hasn't really done many amusement parks. Have you done?
I don't like ones with loop-de-loops because they make me feel queasy.
She does. Say it over here.
I don't like loop-de-loops because they make me feel queasy.
Okay. Alright. I don't have a fan club. So there you go. I have a readership, Craig, which is different. Chris Chrisman asks a color question. Do you dream in color, black or white? I dream in color most of the time. Yeah. I just had a weird dream the other day where I was before my shot. Where I was telling Dolly I had a dream about escaping a hospital. That was in full color. So it's very interesting. Yeah. Vicky asks, is Ike gonna have a pet? I don't know what kind of pet Ike would have. I can't give every character a pet. So, because then we're gonna have a menagerie and it's gonna be a zoo of animals. But I don't think he's gonna have a pet. I don't think he needs a pet. So, not every character requires a pet. So there you go. Yeah, but see, here's my thing about, I think those are all the questions. Those were all the questions this week. Awesome. All right, let me get back to the feed. So, I don't like to call the mob a fan club because I just don't. I don't like the term fan club. Maybe it's just my own pet peeve or my own thing. I'd rather call them my family or the readers, my readers. A fan club, I don't know, for me it just doesn't sit right with what the mob is, you know? So, but that's just me. Mary Beth, thank you for being here. I'm gotta go, but thank you for visiting and being here with us. Awesome. But that's just my own personal, I don't like to see it as a fan club. A fan club it seems very one-sided. Like there's no interaction from the fans to whoever they're fans of. So it's just kind of it's a very one-way thing. And with the mob, it's very two ways. Like I get to interact with you and you interact with me, and we're readers and we share and we talk, we discuss. I mean, even in our art, the art, you guys get to give insights about the story. And that's not a fan club, you know. It's different. It's different. For me it's a different thing. Yeah, Jeanette, the word fan has taken on a negative connotation. So that's why I don't like associating the mob as a fan club. Do I dream in claymation? No. That reminds me of Wallace and Gromit, Jenny. So I don't dream in claymation. So it's much more than a fan club. Yeah, it really is much more than a fan club. Right, fan clubs go crazy. It's a whole thing, and there's a little bit of deification or idolizing the object of the fan club, and that's not something I want to do anyway. So, no, deification, deification. And here's the thing: we're not here for me. That's the thing. We're here for the stories. I write the stories, but we all participate in this. Like I can write the stories, and if no one reads them, they just happen to be ideas. So it really works both. It's a relationship, you know. Like any writer will tell you, like the most important thing for a writer is to have his stories read. It's important to write the stories, but if no one reads the stories, you're just writing the stories, but you really want someone else to read them. So it's not having fans, it's having readers, you know. And yes, fan is short for fanatic. So we're already a mob of badassery, and we're all slightly unstable anyway. We don't need to add fanatics. Yeah, Tina says, are you picturing a bunch of teen girls screaming at your parents? That just seems to remind me of like the Beatles or Michael Jackson kind of things where people just lost their minds. Yeah, no thanks, no. Yeah, we interact with each other. Like Davina's saying, I can't really think of myself as a fan once someone becomes a real person who I interact with. Fan is for more abstract, right? Fan is when people just really like this person from a distance. They never interact with them. They never hope to interact with them. And the internet and technology has kind of made that moot at this point. You can speak to authors now. Like when we were growing up, I could never speak to the authors of the books that I read. I could be a fan of that person's work because I was never going to interact with them. It's different. Right, exactly, Jim. Yeah. Yeah, a music artist sitting down and saying, so what do you think about this chord? What do you think about this music piece? That just doesn't happen, you know? So, right, it's a gathering of, I've always said the mob, the room itself, and even the Mob TV episodes, but especially the room itself, it's like if we're all hanging out somewhere, like at a cafe, there's got to be coffee involved. For those of us that drink coffee, you can have tea, but definitely coffee. And we're all hanging out in one place, just spending time together and, you know, sharing and talking. And it's things like, that's what the mob it's created to be like that, where you feel welcome, you come in, you hang out, we can talk about common stories, Monty and Strong, other authors, and it's really a safe place for us to be. So it's not really a matter of being a fan club. It's not a fan club. Jeanette says the mob is a group of like-minded, slightly twisted individuals who enjoy explorations on life, the universe, and 42. Exactly. He dreams of librarians geeking out and stocking his books. Craig, get out of my head. Really? Jeez. Yes, Jenny, that's a perfect definition. Stories with no readers are called diaries or journals. So that's different. Ook indeed, Davina. Ook indeed. Ted asks if more Iker stories to come. I don't know. We'll see the reaction to the latest Iker story. And depending on that, we'll see if I'll write more. It's definitely open-ended. Like, I left this story open-ended, that more stories could happen. No, it's not a cliffhanger. It ended the way it needed to end, even though some people were saying no. I won't mention any names. I won't mention any names. Dolly, but it definitely ended where it could be more. It could definitely have more stories for Iker. We need to rename this place to Ezra's. Ezra's would be a perfect name for the mob. Like, if we had a place to hang out, an actual place, it would have to be named Ezra's, for sure. Oh yeah, Jenna, that's right. You won the Bitch Book's autographed book, for sure. Congratulations. And continue the squeeing. I'm sure Des loves that. Early in the wee hours of the morning. Yeah, I have to agree. Nyx is definitely cooler. I like Nyx. Here's the thing. Iker is an awesome character, but there's something about, if I had to give her a place, like where I would put her in the hierarchy of characters, Nyx is really close to Gray for me. Like, it's just an awesome character that has so much depth. Iker has a specific motivation, but Nyx is a deeper character and Gray is a deeper character. So it's like that, yeah. So we'll see, yeah. So we'll see. They're both pretty awesome characters. Iker definitely has place to grow, room to grow, but Nyx is like, has a lot more agency. We'll see where it goes. I think it'll be fun if I write more, but I'm definitely looking forward to the first Darken book. Yeah, and the Mage Protective Services, which would be Elias Pern, is like a whole nother series that can come out of that one character, because Elias is so cool. I was actually gonna kill Elias in Requiem. He was gonna die, and then it's the same thing. Iker was gonna die in Rule of the Council, and it was just such a great character. I said, no, I can't kill him. I can't, because there's just too much there as a character. I can't kill him. So these guys survive, and what can I tell you? They want to have their own stories told. And if that were the case, I'd be writing stories of all the side characters in the Monty and Strong world, and there's a lot of characters for that. Yes. Oh, YouTube says, anyone check out the Disney Plus? Yeah, features a Marvel equivalent of the Time Police. Yes, my youngest Valkyrie made me watch Loki because it was cool, and she ended up being really right. So, yes. Jenny, thank you for being here with us. Glad to be here for a little while. Yes, glad to have you here for a little while, Jenny. Thank you. Our next Mob TV will be in 2 weeks. So, awesome for just dropping by and paying us a visit. Thanks. Paperwork doesn't sound fun, but I'm glad you got away from it and you were able to be here with us for a little bit. For sure. Okay, let's see. We've got about 5 minutes. So, I answered all the questions that people posted in the event post. But if you have any questions you want to ask, this is the time to ask them. So, and if I can answer them, I don't know if you should ask questions about divine intervention. We can ask questions about Iker. I'll try not to spoil it. And questions about other things in the Monty and Strong world, or just in general. And I will try to answer them. There's a lot coming up that I have to work on and share. So this would be the time to ask your questions, if you have them. If not, I'll just keep rambling and talking about other things. Oh, I still have to write the 10. Jeez. So, yeah. That's going to be interesting. So, yeah. 5 pairs of shoes worn by one character, or 5 pairs... No, just 5 pairs worn by different characters if necessary. Yeah, just worn by characters in the story, Jim. Jeanette wants to know, should we be worried about the things stored below Haven? Yes, you should. Is the Valkyrie's interest in writing? I have yet to have a Valkyrie that's that interested in writing yet. We'll see. I have one that loves to read, and the other one is very mechanically inclined, but not yet. We'll see. July 9th is the next official date. Yes, is that July 9th is the next? Yes, July 9th is the next Mob TV date. Robert, you too. Have a great weekend, Robert. So Jim is already working on the red shirt. So you guys better get cracking, because Jim is like, is it 5 shoes worn by one character or 5 shoes in general? 5 pairs. So Jim is already cracking down. You guys better get cooking. Or Jim is gonna answer and he's gonna debunk the whole a woman won this one because of the shoes. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to the answer for this one. He's got 3 pairs. Jim is moving quick. 3 pairs down. All right. So it looks like Jim is the lead in this one. I don't know how you're finding them, but yeah, good luck. Don't forget you have to write the shoes, who wore them, and what book. So there you go. Jeanette says she's imagining Haven being launched into the stratosphere when things below Haven. Yeah. Not so much blow, but there are things down there that are dangerous. So yeah, it's something to be concerned about for sure. But there are things that are going to happen with Haven. I mean, what hasn't happened to that building, to Haven? So we'll see. There are things that are going to happen. Haven's going to figure pretty prominently in a few stories, and yeah, I can't say much more than that. But things are going to happen. Tracy's, any help remembering a series you just finished? I saw you were reading it on Goodreads and gave it a 5-star, which I totally agree with. But now, that's the Alex Verus series by Benedict Jacka. Tracy, Alex Verus, Verus, and the author is Benedict Jacka. He wrote 12 books that were all 12 were awesome. So you should definitely read that one. Let's see, Linda, you have to go. Bye, Linda. Thank you for being here. Audrey says she can remember 2 pairs without looking. Wow, Audrey, that's awesome. I barely can remember any pair, so there you go. Danger, Will Robinson, for sure. It is a scary thought, Heather. Oh, yes, it's true. If you're listening to the books, you will hear things that you won't remember reading them. So that's interesting. That's an interesting aspect of the audiobooks, Jeanette, for sure. Bye, Laura. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Thank you for being here. Craig says, picture more of a folded out our space-time like TK Shop and Endless Bazaar. Yes, that sounds more like the moving market than anything else, Craig, for sure. Yeah, it does suggest that it's a safe space, and really what is it? They should rename Haven the Exploding Building, because it gets torn into so often, that poor place. Yes, Tracy, it's Alex Verus is a mage who can see several moments into the future. He's a divination mage. Benedict Jacka has done a great job with that character. So if you haven't read it, you should read it. It's awesome. Yeah, I had stopped. So Tracy, I had read the first 6 books. Then I stopped for about a year or so. And he had written 6 more books. It had to be more than a year because he doesn't write that fast. But it was at 12 books. So I was at 6 books. Then I got to 12 books. And then I started reading all the books. And I think I finished the last 6 books in the span of like maybe 4 days. It was that fast. It was that quick. And it was written that well. And now I have to wait till December for the 13th book. So I told him, write faster. Like what you guys tell me, I told him, write faster. So there you go. All right, so guys, we're at the end. We've already gone a little bit over. So let's see. Not exploding. Dynamic reconstruction. Yes, Mark. That's exactly what happens at Haven. Welcome, Malcolm. I know you're late, but we're almost done. But you made it at least for the last few minutes. So thank you for being here. You guys have a great weekend because, it's Friday and we're going to start our weekend. Let's see. Construction companies tender for... Yes. Well, yeah, Haven must go through many costs in construction because of what happens over there. They must have great insurance too. That's another series I need to write. The insurance companies that deal with all the stuff that Monty and Strong destroy. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. I want to wish you all a great, great weekend. And like I always say, listen, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Yes, there are vaccines. If you can get your vaccine, please get it. Just to keep yourself safe and to keep those around you safe. Have an awesome weekend. Wear your mask, social distance still, guys, still, until this is completely done. Take all the precautions you need to. And as always, be uncommon. Have a fantastic weekend, guys. Bye.